Okay, so today we're going to be talking about batteries,
Okay.
and specifically this idea that you can bring them back from the dead
Right.
and save potentially thousands of dollars over your lifetime.
Wow.
We're doing a deep dive into a program called Easy Battery Reconditioning,
Huh.
and our source material is their website.
Gotcha.
Full disclosure, it is a sales pitch,
Of course.
but there are some really interesting nuggets in there.
Okay.
And we're going to unpack them.
Yeah.
We're going to analyze the claims and help you decide if this is something that you might want to explore further.
Sounds good.
So,
You've probably noticed battery prices going up lately.
oh yeah,
Like everything from your car battery
yeah,
to those little AA's.
for sure.
It's a trend that's directly tied to the increasing demand for batteries across all sectors,
Right.
especially with electric vehicles
Yeah.
and renewable energy becoming more and more popular. So
Mhm.
understanding how batteries work, how to maintain them, and this potential for reconditioning is more relevant now than ever.
Absolutely. This website that we're looking at today,
Okay.
it's definitely going for the wow factor.
Yeah.
They claim you can recondition just about any type of battery.
Wow.
Car batteries, those
Mm-mm.
big deep cycle batteries,
Yeah.
laptop batteries,
Okay.
even the AA's and AAA's.
Oh, wow.
We all have cluttering up our junk drawer.
Interesting.
They even have testimonials and as seen on logos
Right.
sprinkled throughout.
It's smart to approach those marketing tactics with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Sure.
But the underlying concept of battery reconditioning isn't a total myth.
Okay.
While it's not a magical solution for every dead battery,
Right.
there are techniques that can potentially extend the life of batteries that seem to have reached the end of their road.
So they really emphasize the wide range of batteries that this program covers.
Yeah.
And I'll admit the idea of being able to recondition those everyday household batteries like the double and triple A's.
Right.
That's pretty appealing.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've been caught off guard by a dead remote
Oh, yeah.
or flashlight that won't turn on.
Before we get too carried away, let's break down what battery reconditioning actually entails.
Okay.
Okay, so the most common type of battery,
Mm-hmm.
the lead-acid battery found in cars,
Right.
often fails due to a process called sulfation.
Sulfation.
Yeah.
Ah.
Essentially, lead sulfate crystals build up on the battery's plates,
Okay.
and that hinders its ability to hold a charge.
So it's like,
Reconditioning aims to break down these crystals
gotcha.
and improve the flow of the battery's electrolyte.
So it's like cleaning out the gunk that's preventing the battery from working properly.
Exactly. Think of it like removing rust or corrosion.
Okay.
Now, the success rate of reconditioning depends on several factors,
Okay.
including the battery's age, the extent of the damage, and the method used.
Okay, so it's not a guaranteed fix,
Right.
but it's worth understanding.
Exactly.
This website mentions different methods, right? What are we talking about here?
There are a few common approaches.
Okay.
Pulse charging involves sending short bursts of high voltage to break down those lead sulfate crystals.
Okay.
Another method uses chemical additives to dissolve the sulfates and improve the electrolyte solution.
Okay.
And then there's equalization,
Equilation.
which is a technique specifically for flooded lead-acid batteries,
Got you.
which involves applying a controlled overcharge to balance the individual cells within the battery.
So if I wanted to try this at home,
Yeah.
which method should I use?
Hold on. It's crucial to understand that dealing with batteries, especially car batteries, can be dangerous.
Right.
They contain corrosive acid and can produce flammable gases if mishandled.
Sure.
We're definitely not recommending you just dive in without proper research,
Yeah.
safety gear, and a clear understanding of the procedures.
That's a good point. Safety first.
Yeah.
But they do highlight their step-by-step instructions and lifetime support
Mm-hmm.
as part of the program's value. They also mentioned a bunch of bonus guides,
Okay.
including one about starting your own battery reconditioning business.
Again, remember, this is a sales pitch.
Right.
Their goal is to present their program in the most enticing way possible.
Sure.
Let's not get distracted by the bells and whistles just yet.
Okay.
Before we even consider whether this program is worth the investment, we need to understand the fundamentals of how batteries work, the science behind reconditioning, and the potential risks involved.
That makes sense. We need to approach this with a critical eye,
Yes.
not a wide-eyed, I want to believe attitude.
Exactly.
So how can our listeners learn more about these fundamentals?
Well, that's where this deep dive comes in handy.
Okay.
We're here to unpack the complexities, separate fact from fiction, and empower you to make informed decisions.
Awesome.
We'll also provide a link to the Easy Battery Reconditioning website in the episode description so you can take a look for yourself.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's important to remember that not all batteries are created equal when it comes to reconditioning. Lead-acid batteries, like the ones you find in cars,
Right.
they're the most common target, and they tend to respond pretty well to the techniques we discussed.
Yeah.
But those smaller household batteries, like AA's and AAA's,
Yeah.
those are typically alkaline or lithium-ion batteries,
Right.
and those have
Right.
different chemistries and limitations.
So reconditioning might not be as effective for those smaller batteries.
Exactly.
That's good to keep in mind.
Yeah.
It seems like this website really focuses on the financial benefits.
Uh-huh.
The idea that you can save hundreds or even thousands of dollars
Right?
by reconditioning your batteries instead of just buying new ones.
Well, that's where it's crucial to do your own research
Okay.
and make informed decisions based on your specific needs.
Yeah.
So let's break down the potential savings here.
Okay.
Car batteries are a prime example.
Right.
A new car battery can cost anywhere from $100 to $200 or more,
Wow.
depending on the type and brand.
Yeah.
If you can successfully recondition a car battery that's starting to fail, you could potentially delay that replacement cost for a year or two.
That's a significant chunk of change,
Exactly.
especially if you're on a tight budget.
Right, but you have to weigh that potential savings
Okay.
against the costs and risks of reconditioning.
Right.
First, there's the cost of the equipment and materials.
Okay.
You'll need a charger,
Mhm.
a multimeter, potentially some chemical additives and safety gear.
Okay.
Then there's the time investment and the learning curve involved in understanding the process and doing it safely.
And let's not forget the potential risks if you're not careful.
Absolutely. We can't stress enough the importance of safety when working with battery.
Of course.
Lead-acid batteries contain sulfuric acid, which is highly corrosive and can cause severe burns.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned before, improper handling can lead to the release of flammable gases,
Right.
which could create a fire or explosion hazard.
So how can our listeners learn more about these safety precautions?
Well, there are numerous resources available online and in libraries that provide detailed information on battery safety and reconditioning procedures.
Okay.
Always wear appropriate safety gear work in a well-ventilated area and follow the instructions carefully.
It sounds like reconditioning can be a viable option
Yeah,
for those who are comfortable with the technical aspects
right.
and willing to prioritize safety.
Exactly.
But what about those who might be hesitant to try it themselves?
Well, that's where professional battery reconditioning services come in.
Okay.
There are businesses that specialize in reconditioning batteries,
Uh-huh.
and they have the expertise, equipment, and safety protocols in place to handle the process effectively.
Sure.
Of course, using a professional service comes with a cost,
Right.
so you'll need to weigh that against the cost of buying a new battery.
It seems like there's no easy answer.
Yeah,
It depends on a lot of factors.
it does.
Your budget,
Mm-hmm.
your technical skills, your comfort level with the risks, and the type of battery you're dealing with.
Right.
What's your take on this easy battery reconditioning program,
Yeah.
knowing what we know now?
It's important to remember that we're looking at this through the lens of their marketing material,
Right.
which is inherently designed to highlight the benefits and downplay the challenges.
Good.
This program might provide valuable information and guidance, especially for beginners,
Yeah.
but it's crucial to approach it with a discerning eye.
Sure.
Do your own research and make an informed decision based on your individual circumstances.
This whole discussion has really made me think differently about batteries.
Oh, yeah.
I used to just toss them out when they died,
Right.
without a second thought.
Yeah,
Now I'm realizing there might be options for extending their life and reducing waste.
that's a great takeaway.
Yeah.
Understanding how batteries work and the potential for reconditioning not only empowers you to make informed decisions about your own battery usage, but it also contributes to a more sustainable approach to resource management.
It's all about being mindful of our consumption and exploring ways to reduce our environmental footprint.
Absolutely.
So what's the next step for our listeners who want to dive deeper into this topic?
Well, we encourage everyone to do their own research, explore the resources available, and carefully consider the pros and cons of battery reconditioning before making any decisions.
Gotcha.
And as we mentioned earlier, we'll provide a link to the EZ Battery Reconditioning website in the episode description for those who want to learn more about their program.
Perfect. That gives our listeners a starting point for their own exploration.
Exactly.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive,
We have.
from the science of how batteries work to the practicalities of reconditioning and the importance of safety.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, I'd love to get your final thoughts on the bigger picture here.
Beyond the specific techniques and potential cost savings, what I find fascinating about battery reconditioning is that it challenges the prevailing throwaway culture.
Okay.
It encourages us to think about repair and reuse as viable alternatives to constant consumption. And that shift in mindset, that willingness to explore options beyond simply buying new, has implications that extend far beyond just batteries.
Yeah, it's like we're tapping into that old school
Yeah.
ingenuity, that
Yeah.
sense of resourcefulness that maybe we've lost touch with,
Right.
in a world of instant gratification and disposable everything.
Exactly. And that connection to resourcefulness can be incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
Instead of feeling helpless when a device dies,
Uh-huh.
we start to understand that we might have the ability to fix it ourselves,
Right.
to extend its life, and to reduce our reliance on constantly buying new products.
That's a powerful message, especially in a world facing increasing environmental challenges.
Right.
It's not just about saving money, it's about taking responsibility for our consumption
Yeah,
and finding ways to reduce our impact.
absolutely. This whole discussion about battery reconditioning has opened up a broader conversation
Yeah, okay.
about sustainability, responsible consumption, and the circular economy.
Okay.
The idea is to move away from a linear model of take, make, dispose.
Towards a more circular model where we prioritize repair, reuse, and recycling to minimize waste and conserve resources.
It's like closing the loop on the life cycle of a product.
Exactly.
And that shift in mindset, as you said, has implications far beyond just batteries.
It does.
It can apply to everything from clothing and electronics to
Yeah.
packaging and food waste.
Precisely. It's about asking ourselves, what happens to this product after I'm done with it?
Right.
Are there ways to extend its life?
Uh-huh.
Can it be repaired, reused, or recycled?
Yeah.
These are the questions that drive innovation and inspire creative solutions.
So in a way, this deep dive into battery reconditioning has sparked a much larger conversation about how we interact with the products we use every day.
And that, I believe, is the most valuable takeaway from this exploration.
It's okay.
Whether or not you decide to pursue battery reconditioning yourself, the knowledge you've gained about how batteries work,
Uh-huh.
the potential for extending their life, and the broader implications for sustainable consumption.
Can empower you to make more informed choices in all aspects of your life.
It's about being a conscious consumer,
Yeah.
understanding the impact of our choices, and exploring alternatives to the status quo.
For sure.
And that in itself is a powerful shift.
Indeed, it's about recognizing that we have agency,
Yeah.
that our individual actions can contribute to a more sustainable future.
Well said. This has been an incredibly insightful deep dive.
It has.
We've learned about the science of batteries, the potential for reconditioning, the importance of safety, and the broader implications for sustainability and responsible consumption.
We covered a lot.
As always, we encourage our listeners to do their own research, explore the resources available, and draw their own conclusions.
Right.
And don't forget to check out the link to the Easy Battery Reconditioning website in the episode description
Yeah.
if you're interested in learning more about their program.
That's right. Knowledge is power. And the more informed we are,
Yeah.
the better equipped we are to make choices that align with our values and contribute to a brighter future.
Until next time, keep those batteries charged, those minds engaged, and those critical thinking skills sharp. Rip.